Question 3. Write down all the possible arrangements of the letters G, A, M, E, S that begin with a vowel and end with a vowel. For example, A, G, M, S, E. So we've used these 5 letters and we're starting with a vowel A, we're ending with a vowel E, and then we have all the other letters in between. So in the next slide, I'm going to show you all the different arrangements that we're going to write out, and then we're going to answer these questions. But we have to actually write out the list first before we can answer these questions. So press pause, have a go at the question, try and list all these possible arrangements, and then answer these questions. And then press play when you want to see the solutions. So here's our list. So we have A, G, M, S, E. That one was actually given to us in the question. We have A, G, S, M, E, A, M, G, S, E, A, M, S, G, E, A, S, M, G, E, A, S, G, M, E. So there's 6 possible arrangements where we start with A and we end with E. So remember, we had to begin with a vowel and end with a vowel. And then there's 6 possible arrangements where we begin with E and we end with A. So E, G, M, S, A, E, G, S, M, A, E, M, G, S, A, E, M, S, G, A, E, S, M, G, A, and E, S, G, M, A. Now if you wrote them out in a different order to this, that's fine, so long as you have all of them. So there is 6 and 6, 12 in total. 12 different arrangements of the letters G, A, M, E, S that begin with a vowel and end with a vowel. So now we're going to answer these questions. So question 1, how many arrangements did you get? Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we got 12 arrangements in total. Question 2, how many have M in the middle? So you can see there I've highlighted in yellow the M in the middle. So there's 1. So remember, this arrangement is counted as 1 where we see M in the middle. We see M in the middle here, so that's the second one. We see M in the middle here, that's a third one. And we see M in the middle here, that's a fourth one. Remember, if you wrote these out in a different order to me, they will be in a different place. But there should still be 1, 2, 3, 4 arrangements where M is in the middle, so 4. Question 3, how many arrangements end with E? So you can see I've highlighted there where the E is at the end. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arrangements where we end with an E. So 6. Question 4. In how many does G appear before S? So we can see G is before S in the first one. G is before S there as well. G is before S here. In this one, the S comes before the G, so we're not counting that one. In this one here, the S comes before the G, so we're not counting that either. And here the S comes before the G, so we're not counting that either. Then the G is before the S, so we are counting it. The G is before the S, we are counting it. The G is before the S, we are counting it. The S is before the G, so we're not counting it. The S is before the G, so we're not counting it. And the S is before the G, so we're not counting it. So it's only these ones here that the G comes before the S, so there's 6 of them. Question 5. In how many does S appear before G? So S before G, 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 and S before G. So there's 6 of them as well. So these 6 have the S before the G, so 6. In how many are the M and the G side by side? Now it doesn't say if the M comes before the G or the G comes before the M or anything like that. They just have to be side by side. So here we have GM, MG side by side, MG side by side, GM side by side, GM side by side, MG side by side, MG side by side, and GM side by side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 arrangements where the M and G are side by side. Question 7. In how many are M and G not side by side. So basically all the ones that we didn't circle in the previous slide. So here we see G and M has an S in between, so the G and the M is not side by side. Here, M and G has an S in between, so they're not side by side. G and M not side by side. M and G not side by side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 of them where they're not side by side. Now a quicker way would have been to say, well, there was 12 in total. In part 6 we were asked how many where they are side by side, and there was 8 where they are side by side. So 12 take away 8 is 4. So that would have been just a quicker way instead of going through them individually. Question 4. There are 5 finalists in a school music contest. In how many different ways can a winner and a runner-up be chosen? Okay, so something very important in this question. In how many different ways? When we hear the phrase how many, we want to think multiply. So this is one of our fundamental principles of counting, that when we're asked how many ways, how many different ways, or how many arrangements, we want to think multiply. So there are 5 finalists in a school music contest. How many different ways can winner and runner-up be chosen? So I've drawn out a box for the winner and a box for the runner-up. And I have a multiply sign in between because how many, we want to think multiply. So if there's 5 finalists in the school music contest, then any of those 5 people could be the winner. So the number of possible outcomes for the winner, the number of possibilities for the winner is 5. Now, once the winner has been chosen, whoever gets the first place, whoever gets crowned as the winner, they can't also be the runner-up. So if there was 5 people originally, and we know that one of them will become the winner, there's 4 people then left to choose from for the runner-up. So we're going to put 4 in the place of the runner-up. And 5 multiplied by 4 gives us 20. So there are 20 different ways that the winner and the runner-up could be chosen. So I like this box method personally. I think it's much easier and you can visualize what's happening. But if you wanted to put this into your calculator instead of doing 5 multiplied by 4, instead you could just put into the calculator 5p2. So this is, the P stands for permutations, which is another word for arrangements. So we've 5 people, we've 5 finalists, and we want to arrange them in 2 ways. So winner and runner-up, so there's 2 different ways. So that gives us 20. But personally, I much prefer this method, this box method.